Bros. I'm Zach.
And I'm Bob.
And Bob's delayed again this week, but it's
Yeah.
not as bad as last week. So hopefully, hopefully we hang in there this week and we don't have any technical struggles like we did last week. But we'll see what happens. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for joining us. I don't see anybody on here yet, but hopefully we'll have some people rolling in here shortly. Started off like we always do. What are we drinking this week, Bob?
I'm drinking you see that?
Yeah, the cat's meow.
I'm drinking the Cat's Meow by
Cat's meow.
Exhibit A. So
Nice.
let me get this in my glass, Meow.
All right, meow.
Oh. Dude, that is hazy.
That is quite hazy.
A lot of grapefruit smell to it.
Nice.
It's a pretty big size head I got on there. See, I got this extra large glass that I can pour aggressively and still not go overflow.
I like that.
I like it. Yeah. This was brought to me by my wife.
Shout out to Lori.
Yeah. So
where's that
glass.
from? Where's
Notch?
the glass from?
Notch.
Okay.
I am not familiar with Notch.
I'm not either, but I like the glass. I want to see how it is. How is it?
That's very smooth. I mean, it's definitely got some grapefruit and a little bit of pine on the back end. Up front, dude,
Nice.
it's just like smooth.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Well, I'm taking a big curveball from what Bob's having this week. So I got a big old crowler that my friend Clay was nice enough to bring me from Ocala, Florida. This is Infinite Ale Works. It's West Flow Christmas Quad. So we're gonna crack this big old boy open and see what's going on with this thing.
I wonder if it's different with the fact that it's a Christmas quad, not just the West Flow.
I don't know.
Is it actually West Floridian?
I'm guessing that's what the West Flow is for. I mean, being that it's in Ocala,
it
would be Western Florida.
Actually, West Flow. You said Christmas Quad?
Well, it just says West Flow, and then it says style Christmas, and then ABV is quad. And that's all it says in the can. I don't know who we got now here. We got two people here now. Thank you for joining. Welcome, whoever you are. Let us know who you are in the comments. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, this is definitely Christmas beer looking.
Well, I mean, it's a quad, so it's going to be about that color anyhow, dude.
Yeah, that's true. Definitely got the not as Christmas beer smelling like in the spice forwardness you get from Christmas beers. A lot of like the fig scent that you mentioned. We were looking this up before we started.
Yeah, this is actually 11%, dude. I said 10.5 before. Being that it's the Christmas one, you get an extra half.
Okay, cool.
Merry Christmas.
I'm right with it. Yeah, it's not. It doesn't taste that strong, but definitely like very yeah, raisiny, figgy, kind of all those dark fruit flavors coming through with it.
You got some nutmeg.
A little bit, not cinnamon. Overpowering. Yeah, a little bit of cinnamon, but not overpowering with any of those spice flavors that you get with a lot of Christmas beers. More of the fruit flavors that are coming through with it. It's kind of nice.
Sweet.
It is sweet though. It's quite sweet. We got three people now. I don't know who's here. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Thanks for hanging out. Throw in the comments. Let us know who's here. Say hi. Say what's up. Say you suck. Whatever. I don't care. Just let us know who's here.
So you want me to explain this week what we're doing, or you want to do it?
I'll go for it. Thanks, Tyson.
Right.
What's up? Thanks for joining.
So this week it's the two grumpy old men version.
We got the grumpy old man, and then we got the grumpy not as old man.
We're on here to bitch about it's just the things that irritate us the most about the craft brew industry. And I have a couple. Zach's got a couple. We'll probably end up being the same thing. We haven't discussed ahead of time. We kind of did that on purpose so that we could have some discussions as we get into it. But who knows where this is going to go? We might just get on one subject and not get off of it because we'll just be so pissed off about it. But welcome to our bitch session. We're just going to complain the whole freaking time. Hopefully you like that.
And if you have your own complaints about the craft beer industry, let us know. Put them in the comments. We can talk about them too. Feel free to complain with us in your complaints about the craft beer industry.
Yeah. So you want to go first, or let me go first?
That's what we're gonna do. Go for it. You start it. Kick it off.
All right, because I've got some good ones, man. I'm freaking pissed.
Go for it. Let's be pissed together.
You know what? I think we've touched on the first one, and it's the biggest one for me. We kind of touched on this a couple of times. The thing that really, really irritates me is just the freaking sellout of the freaking craft brewery. So you have these people that spend their whole entire life building up a brand, making people like getting a cult following, getting people to just love what they're making. And they finally start breaking into getting a little sliver piece of the beer industry. And then you have these big behemoth jackasses that decide that they have to come in and buy them, not because they even want them, because they want to get rid of them. It's like, oh, you made too much noise, so I have to quiet you down. Someone can't go and have good beer. They have to drink my shitty beer that tastes like water for the most part. So, oh my God, I started going just crazy there a little bit. I was right in the big time bitching, but I was on a rant. Right. I was on a rant, man.
That's all right. That's what this one's about.
Saying? It's like, so, and I get it. As a small independent company owner, you're working your ass off. You're brewing every day. You maybe get yourself to where you get maybe a brewer and an assistant brewer. So now they're taking care of that. But now you have to take care of the bar, and and you're probably going in and bartending like at least 3 or 4 nights a week. And you're the freaking owner, and now you're freaking bartending, so I mean, it doesn't feel like, oh well, shit, I'm working almost every day, and it's a grind, but and so you finally get to that point where, oh, we're going to offer you I've seen some just crazy figures. I mean, 10, 15, $20 million for some of these. And I get it. That's your, they probably had no 401k because they spent their 401k to open up the brewery.
Yeah. So what was the one that was in Cleveland that sold to AB?
Platform.
Yeah. So Platform sold in August 2019. Reported $130 million.
Yeah, dude, I'm way off. 130 million, dude. It's hard to walk away from that kind of money.
Well, no. Sorry. That's just overall that year. Sorry, that wasn't just for Platform. Yeah, it was undisclosed amount, so nobody actually knows how much it was overall. But yeah, I mean, still, I'm sure Platform was one of the bigger ones they acquired that year. I mean, multiple millions of dollars. So yeah, and at that point, Platform had multiple locations. I mean, they had locations in Cleveland. They had the location in Columbus. They had just their sour production facility as well in Cleveland. So they had at least 3 locations at that point.
So, I mean, yeah, it is big money to walk away from, and
Yeah,
they
for sure.
okay. So the last thing that InBev bought, I know, wait a minute. Tilray buys 8. Oh, no. That's Tilray bought stuff from InBev.
Yeah.
They bought 8 different name brands from them for 85 million.
Yeah. Yeah. So InBev has actually been backing off of the craft beer industry because they've kind of been bleeding money the last few years because they've
Well,
had so many of their craft brands shut down,
it feels
or
like
what they call craft brands.
to me that InBev has no interest in the brand at all. They might have maybe one beer that they want to have in their
Yep.
portfolio, but basically they're just trying to kill the business so it quits taking away the little sliver that they're taking away from them. So if you
Yep.
make too much noise, and it's InBev has probably been one of the worst one, but Molson Coors is the same way.
Yep.
Quite frankly, Tilray and is it Constellation? What's the other one?
Constellation is another big one, but
Yeah,
Constellation, I
they're
don't know
not
if
so.
Constellation is still craft or not. That's debatable.
Yeah, no, I'm saying they're the two brands that are those are the two, Tilray and Constellation. They're also doing quite a bit of acquisitions, but they seem
Yep.
to stay away from it a little bit. They pretty much like, hey, we're gonna buy it, we're gonna own it, we're gonna take over the distribution,
Yep.
but you continue to operate and continue to do what you've been doing. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's not so they're I don't feel like they're so bad, but AB InBev and Molson Coors are evil bastards. They're evil.
Yeah.
They're evil
I feel like
overlords.
they're the ones that are buying out just to do corporate takeovers and
Yeah,
then shut places
yeah.
down. Essentially,
Well,
I feel like that's one of the things they did to Platform in a sense was so Platform had the corporate overlord, so to speak,
yeah,
and it kind of bled Platform dry to an extent that they couldn't staff anymore, and the staff
yeah.
ended up just saying screw this, we're
Well,
we're done,
the
and walked
staff
out of the
had
locations.
some integrity and said we're not doing this, and they quit.
Yeah, essentially
So
that's kind of what happened with
so
Platform.
applaud to them. But it's the same pattern every single time. And you would think that one of these assholes would learn that this is not going to work. So they
Yeah,
go in, they buy a company, and they're really after probably just a few of the really big name brand beers that are well known nationwide.
yep,
They take it out of that brewery and they put it in one of their high um,
high throughput, high volume.
yeah, they're just doing, yeah, exactly. They're doing these high volume breweries that is just a sweat factory that they're just putting stuff out. There's not much to it there, but now it's the volume is they're making a lot more of it. And now they start, not only is it not being made in the smaller brewery where it was before, but now they're doing all kinds of shortcuts on it, right?
Yep, yep,
So they're
yeah.
putting corn syrup in for the sweetener. They're they're doing like imitation hops versus full hops.
Yep.
Uh, they're putting other chemicals in it so it lasts longer on the shelves. They're doing all sorts of things that basically screw up, and they've been doing it forever. Like, how do they not learn their lessons? That, like, dude, you're going to get this name brand, but people aren't stupid. People know. I mean, especially the thing about it is like, okay, people, and I don't, if you are a person who drinks Bud Light or Busch Light, probably you're not watching us. But if you are, and that's what you do, congratulations, fine. You're drinking a cheap beer. You probably if you're happy with what you're doing, fine. But you can't. People who drink craft beer have a little bit more of a like a refined palate. They've drank a lot of different beers typically. And if they've actually settled on, here is my core beer that they drink, and then it's bought by one of these mega brewers and they change something, I'm going to know it immediately and I'm not going to buy that beer anymore. So you're basically 100% just setting yourself up to fail. And I think, as I said, I think they know what they're doing, and I think that the big thing, they're just trying to get rid of competition.
Yeah.
But it's kind of bullshit. I mean, how is that just even legal? It's and I realize InBev is a South African company, and Molson Coors is now a Canadian company, but.
I mean, as Clay put it in the comments, capitalism.
How can they buy? But it's a monopoly. They're creating a monopoly. They're creating a monopoly, and the more they let them buy, the more of a monopoly you're having. And I realize, yes, capital. But here's the other side of it: is, dude, why do you spend your whole entire life building this brand, and it's like your baby, and you have all that sweat, blood, and tears, and okay, you have the money, yeah, but there's the other side of it. There is the side that if I sell to Tillery or Constellation, my brand might actually maintain itself. And after I die, that brand's still going to be around. Or if I continue to just do it on my own and I pass it on to the family, that brand will remain, and it might be your name even.
Yeah.
But so there's that side of it, like you're just going to give this up, everything that you worked for, you're just going to give up and let it be destroyed. Because if you're selling InBev, no matter what the dollar is, they're going to destroy it and ruin the beer. It's going to ruin, like, you're going to be connected to that forever.
There's very few craft brands they've bought out that have remained what they were prior. Put it that way.
But who's that? What beer is that? Like from InBev?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a point to that, Clay, as well. So, I mean, if someone's offering you that much that you just can't walk away from it, and that you're basically set for multiple generations.
Yeah, Clay, I don't know if you were on here before, and I said I get it, but there's two sides of this.
Yeah,
there is
it's the two sides of the same coin thing.
Yeah, well, there's the money, and then there is what am I looking for here? When you live on, what's that word? Your
reputation? I don't know.
No, not reputation. Like when it lives on for like quite some time, and it's your what is that word? Sorry.
I don't know what word you're looking for.
Yeah. Here, here's how I'm a grumpy old man. I can't remember things anymore. They're already going out of my head. Because I was thinking about this earlier, and this was kind of the big point that I had. It's not just the money and you being able to retire and having, it is your legacy.
Yeah.
What I'm looking for, it's you're building a legacy, So, I would imagine that Rhinegeist at this point, they're probably going to stick around. They've almost broke into being kind of that next tier up of almost not even a microbrewery anymore.
I agree with that.
But the owners of Rheingeist will always have that's my legacy. That's I built something. I started that from nothing.
Yeah. Thank you guys for chiming in the comments on
Yes,
what
it
Bob
wasn't
was trying to get at.
estate's a good one, but I was thinking of legacy. You were a little late on that one, Chad, but
It's because our streaming, like when it
oh,
goes
is it?
to YouTube, it's a little bit delayed. Like
Okay.
it's a few seconds delayed, kind of like how your video is a little bit delayed.
Yeah.
So it's probably even more delayed for them than it is for
Oh
me.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm hitting you guys like 5 minutes later. So delayed.
Um, yeah, no, I have to agree with you. It would definitely be a hard thing to do at that point is decide do you try to keep this going with what you have, and do you keep working your ass off every day, or do you sell at this point and decide to um have generational wealth for the rest of your life essentially and set
See,
your family up.
I'm
So
almost
I
to
mean
the
I get it.
point,
I get it.
and I'm not there, and no one's offering me this money, so I can say whatever the hell I want.
Yeah, yeah,
And if someone put $100 million in front of me, I'd probably take it, quite frankly. But I would I would hope that if it was coming from InBev, AB InBev, I would tell them to go get bent. But if it
yeah,
was coming from Tilray or Constellation, I might take it.
yeah, yeah. Um, anyway, we got more people on now, so I just want to take a second, say thank you guys for joining, hanging out with us. Just want to acknowledge some of the comments we got here. So Tyson not putting dates on cans. Um, yeah, so I like having like a date it was brewed on cans, so that's something. But one of the we kind of beat a dead horse there with that one, so I want to move on to another one. Um, yes, Chad, it is hard out there for a lot of breweries. I agree with that. But one of the things that I kind of wanted to touch on with the topic was just quality control in general with the beer industry and craft breweries specifically is just their quality control seems to kind of have diminished in the last 5 years or so. Some aspects have gotten better, some have gotten worse. And dates on cans is one thing that, in my opinion, goes along with quality control. So you have, beers that are coming out that, typically with, let's take an IPA, for example, you have a 3 month shelf life for an IPA. That's pretty standard for an
And
IPA in most
typically, yeah,
situations.
the quicker you drink it, the better it's going to be.
Absolutely agree. But with a heavily hopped IPA, at most you're looking at a 3 month shelf life, and that's not only on that's on the brewery, that's also on the distributor. But if you're not putting China and COVID, if you're not putting the date on the can, how's the consumer going to know when the beer was brewed and what the shelf life actually is supposed to be on it? So that goes back to quality control. Are you dating this stuff? But are you also doing the upfront testing on this to make sure your shelf life is stable? So I'm going to go back way before all of this. Is that there was a brewery, so a couple breweries that I know historically have been very good at quality control. Number one is Dogfish Head. So they have an in-house lab at Dogfish Head for quality control. They're testing yeast, they're testing hops, they're testing beers as they're going through the entire process. So that's one of the things I respect about Dogfish Head. Even though they're merged now with Sam Adams and all of that, they still have those in-house labs. Another one that they only have like two beers that are even on the market now, if even two beers. Um, but it was a brewery in Columbus. Bob and I had been there, but they're not even there any longer. I don't know. I can't think of it. Four Strings. So I don't know if any of you guys that are on here remember Four Strings that was in Columbus. Um, their brewery in the Hilltop area in Columbus actually had a full quality control lab, and they did all the QC testing for all of the breweries in the Columbus area. They had a full micro lab set up inside the brewery, and they did all the QC testing for basically every brewery in Columbus at the time, which was super cool to me when I got to tour the brewery. But when quality control goes down on your on your beer, the final product of your beer also goes down. So like you have microbial growth, contamination issues, so you have oxidation issues. So you're just putting out a bad product in the end if you don't have good quality control. So that's my rant on quality control and beer.
I like Four Strings also. Four Strings, didn't they just kind of over extend themselves? They also didn't they have like a canning plant that they were canning for a lot of different other breweries as well?
That was their main brewery. So the main brewery in the Hilltop area, that was where they brewed most of their beer. They had their tap room in Grandview, but they had their main brewing facility in Hilltop, and they also had their canning line where they were canning for a lot of breweries. They were canning for like Wild Ohio, like the tea beer things. They did all the canning for that. They did canning for Land Grant there. They did all their own canning there, and they canned for a couple other breweries in the Columbus area there. So, yeah, Four Strings doesn't exist anymore, Clay. That's what happened at Four Strings.
Yeah, but they basically overextended themselves. They borrowed too much or spent too much, or it maybe it was on the canning line, or maybe it was on their quality. I don't know, but I know that there was they I think the bank called in their loan and they weren't able to cover it, and they had to basically file Chapter 11.
I'm gonna find out because I can't remember exactly
It was
what
something
happened
like
with
it
it,
was
but
something like that, yeah. Because they made a pretty good beer. What it was Switchblade, what a Switchblade IPA or something like that.
well, their biggest, I think that was one, but their biggest beers were their Hilltop Lager and Hilltop Light. Like that was the one. Hilltop Light was one that kind of stuck around for a while afterwards.
Mhm.
That somebody else was like contract brewing. That like they bought the recipe for it, and yeah, so they actually carried on with the Hilltop brand via contract brewing. Um, the location in Grandview is now Echo Spirits Distilling Company. And now somebody in Akron owns the rights to the Hilltop brand. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, they basically just had, they didn't publicly disclose the reasons for it, but yeah, they had struggles with cash flow. I think they basically had a lot of commitments they just couldn't hold up to, especially with the
Yeah.
canning. Um, yeah, I think that had a lot of. Oh, Pretentious Barrel House was another one that they were kind of canning stuff for,
You would
but
think that
yeah, that was a.
canning and the fact that they were doing all that for those other breweries, that would have helped them sustain. That would be like just like that other side business that would have helped, but it screwed them when it's all said and done.
I think they made bad contracts with it, and just they weren't
Yeah.
making high enough contracts on it. They were. I don't know if they got lowballed out of it or they just weren't estimating high enough in their prices to charge other people.
Yeah.
And then like that was what 2000, they closed in 2018, so I don't know what, like with aluminum prices, if they went up as far as anything during that time, but that could have a huge impact
Yeah.
on it. If they're paying to get all the cans in there and then they're doing the labeling, they're doing that whole process. So yeah, I don't know.
So yeah, I mean it's I think overall, and when you on the microbrewery side, I mean, I think it's a little bit of a cowboy type of industry. You have a lot of people that are just going in and they're just chucking stuff in the barrel. going. But then you do have other companies that are very serious about it and very measured and very much. This is, I mean, shoot, have you ever watched any of the tours for Treehouse? Like
No, I don't think
all the
so. No.
equipment and everything they have they have something, and they have seriously they have crazy amount of equipment there. They have PLCs that are
I'm sure.
operating their breweries. So I mean, most breweries don't have PLCs in them, and they
Yeah.
do. They have something in there that they can filter their water or put different sediment in it to make the water be like almost anywhere in the United States. So like if they want to mimic a New York brewery, they can actually put stuff in there that would be similar to the water you would have in New York. And then it could also change the temperature very quickly on the water that's coming out of there. It's crazy the technology that they have there. And then they also
Yeah.
they're very, very specific about their quality, and even the canning process. The fact that their canning process, no one is touching it until everything's canned and sealed. So
Yeah.
they're very, very particular.
All
It's
automated. Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy. Like seriously, if you're ever just bored or don't have anything to watch or whatever, get on YouTube and look up the Treehouse channel and look at some of the different tours they have there. It's crazy what that guy's done and the technology that he's put into his brewery. And
I'm sure.
and again, I mean, he just kind of, but yeah, you have so many other breweries that are just, I mean, they're small breweries, and they're, as I said, they're just some shoot the one that used to be here, that was right around, actually on Cincinnati Dayton Road. I think you went to it with me one time. Um, they were basically just home brewers that just opened up a storefront.
Which
Logberry.
one?
It
Oh
was
yeah, yeah, yeah.
horrible. Remember,
Yep. Yeah,
it
yeah. It
was
wasn't
not
good.
good beer.
Everything kind of tasted the same, and it just wasn't
Oh, it
good.
was like they did. It was somehow what didn't carbonate. It's like, what the
Yeah.
hell are you doing that your beer doesn't carbonate?
Yeah. Clay, I'm drinking the beer that you got me, that I told you I was gonna drink tonight. The
Yeah, that's
this
probably
guy.
why I asked. Yeah, Clay, he already gave you a shout
Yeah,
out, dude.
I
Yeah,
did.
I guess you just wanted another one.
You get two shout outs. Same episode.
So yeah, 100%. But that's kind of, as I said, for me, that's a little bit of just, that's just kind of the craft breweries. That's just the craft
Yeah.
industry. You're gonna have again, some people put the money into it and they're going to be very particular. Um, One
Yeah.
of the head brewers at Third Eye came from quality.
Yeah.
So yeah, so they're very, very big on quality there.
Yeah, and I like, if I ever had the opportunity to open a brewery, I would absolutely be
Well,
freaking
dude,
crazy
you're a
about
freaking lab dude.
that.
That's what you do. Of course, that's where you're
Yeah.
gonna be. Uh, I
Oh,
I
for
would
sure.
probably be more of the cowboy. It was, hey, let's toss some hops in here, see what we get. But
I mean, I would be like that to an
yeah.
extent, but when it comes to like the cleanliness
Oh
and
yeah,
making sure there's no bacterial growth or any of that stuff, I'm gonna be
yeah.
crazy.
Oxidation, man. That 100%. As soon as you get oxidation on your beer, it tastes like shit.
Yeah, like Tyson and I have talked before too. Like, he's had some beers, especially we'll look at, so we'll take one of my favorite breweries, for example, Hoof Hearted, and it seems like some of their stuff, they're not. It seems like some of their stuff, they're not brewing actually on site anymore. They've been contract
Mhm.
brewing some of
Yeah.
their stuff, like more of their mass produced stuff, and the quality of that has just gone down because they've outsourced some of their brewing. I don't know if that's 100% true or not, but that's some like what I've read in the research I've done is it seems like in the general consensus is what they're brewing on site is still really, really good,
Mhm.
but what they're kind of offsetting and contract brewing outsourcing is just not as good as it used to be.
Yeah.
So it's all about quality, guys.
Um,
And gals, whoever's watching. I don't know everybody that's here.
Moment. Time.
All right, Bob, what was that?
I clicked onto an email and it popped up an ad.
All right, what do you got next, Bob?
Okay, so for me, I mean, it's a little bit back to where we were before, but it feels like that brewers, especially microbrewers, are very big copycats. When a style or something becomes popular, it seems like everybody jumps onto that. You know, and you know, when hazy slash juicy slash New England IPAs, when they were in fab, you know, that was great because I loved it and everybody was on it. But you know, then they went into this lager phase, and then this year, what's the big thing that they're looking at? There, a lot of breweries are looking at just trying to do lower ABV beers, and it's and there's I think it really starts to really kind of you don't see as much variety because everybody kind of jumps and I don't know why it's happening this way. It does kind of seem like the Ohio Brewers Association, they're like, okay, this is going to be popular this year, so then everybody jumps on it. And I kind of like when brewers kind of do their own thing and they come up with their own. And there's still breweries out there that are always like that, like your favorite. Um, you know, Hoof Hearted kind of seems like they do what they do and they do what they're good at, and they don't give a crap if people are making lagers this year. They're going to continue to make their high gravity IPAs and their stouts. They love to make stouts there, but it really kind of seems to me that I mean, don't you think that it seems like there's this thing that like when something becomes popular that everybody has to jump on it, like the freaking sours, dude. I mean, sours were nowhere. Then, like, some people started making sours, and sours became pop. Then everybody did sours. Then they started making whole entire tap rooms that were just sour breweries.
Or whole entire breweries, yeah. So you're more what you're kind of saying is either bandwagon or lack of innovation.
Yeah, that's well, a little bit of both. A little bit of both.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
So I think the bandwagoning causes the lack of innovation because I mean, and sometimes maybe it helps innovation because everybody's trying to get into the same thing, but they want to do it a little different. So maybe there's a little bit of innovation there. But I think if everybody just kind of went and did their thing and kept on trying to get better at what they do, and here's my lane. Here's what I'm good at. I'm going to continue to get better at this. I'm going to continue to experiment in this area. And that's what, you know, if you want to come to my brewery, here's the things that we're going to have. Now maybe we'll have some of these other varieties as well because we just like to try stuff. But we don't have, but you don't have to jump. Seriously, it seems like the microbrew industry, it is such a bandwagon type of industry. I don't know how it happens, but they get these trends and it's every year and people start writing about it. And then it seems like it just keeps on snowballing on itself and then like a year later, everybody's sick of it.
Yeah. So I agree with you on several aspects of this, but I also kind of agree or disagree on other aspects of this. So yes, bandwagoning, yeah, I get that from certain aspects, but I think innovation also comes from that because there's certain beer styles that would have never come to be if it weren't for that bandwagoning and the innovation that came along with it. So take for example, like the entire milkshake IPA style. That would have never existed without New England style IPAs or juicy hazy IPAs. So if those would have never came about, milkshake IPAs would have never came about. So you
No,
see what I'm saying?
I get that. But I still think that like if people would just continue to try to just better and do what they're doing and experiment along their lines, yeah, then we would have still come to at some point someone was going to have a milkshake IPA and it would catch
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
But you know, what was another one that it was like the like that IPL or the
Yeah, freaking IPLs. Yeah.
or even
So
just the cold
IPLs was
IPAs.
never.
I mean, it's just like everybody did one, and it's just like,
Yeah.
I mean, do I have to have? I mean, yeah, they're not a bad beer, but it's like it's like an IPA that doesn't have much taste to it.
So I've I have a love-hate relationship with IPLs. I've had some really good IPLs and I've had some really bad
Mhm.
IPLs that are just like I could drink any freaking lager out there and it can be this beer.
I mean,
Um,
I don't mind on a burr. I mean, I'll go to Grainworks and get their burr, but
yeah,
it's. I mean,
but that's a cold
yeah, I
IPA
mean,
though,
but
right? Not an
it's
IPL.
kind of the same thing. They both kind of, you had the IPLs and the cold IPAs, kind of were like that was that same time when the same bandwagon that they all came out at the same time.
Yeah, yeah,
You had some
I know
people
what
go
you're saying.
IPL route. You had other people that went the cold IPA,
The cold
but
IPA.
it was sort
Okay,
of kind of the same
I get
thing.
what you're saying.
And they're really kind of very similar taste.
Yeah, yeah. The other thing that I try to remember when talking about this is that so like the New England style IPA that we have today, right? Like the juicy, the
Mm.
hazy, the very fruit forward New England style IPA that we have today is not what the original New England style
Oh
IPA
no, no,
was, right?
it's
Not even close.
yeah. I
So
mean,
if you
we
take
both drank some
a
Heady Topper, so I mean,
yeah, so if you take a heady topper, which is basically kind of known as the original, I'm not going to say it's the original because I don't know, but it's widely
it's widely
considered
given credit for
the
the original IP or the original.
the original New England style or,
It
you know, kind
it
of
is, yeah,
East
it is
Coast
given credit
IPA beer.
for widely given credit for, yeah, New England IPA.
It is it is wildly different from what we know today as a New England style IPA. It's not juicy. It's not fruit forward. It is still very, very hoppy. It's still very piney. It's very resinous. It's not what you get from, you know, if you're drinking a complete juice bomb. It's not that. It's very, very hazy, but it's very dank. It's got the pine flavors that you expect from a West Coast IPA, but it's not clear that you get in a West Coast
Well, I
IPA.
mean,
It's
it was just a
wildly
matter
different.
of, I mean, they're at when they made it, some of the hops that are out there weren't even available at that point.
Yes, exactly. And that's one of the big things is that I think a lot of the people that are newer into drinking craft beer don't realize how different what you're getting today in a New England style IPA is to what the original New England
But
style IPAs
here's
were.
another fun fad that went through. You remember when right before the New England became popular, that everyone was trying to like see how bitter they could freaking make an IPA.
Yeah.
And like someone came out with one that was like a 1,000 IBU or something like that.
Yeah, which is way beyond what the human palate can
Yeah, like
even taste.
some
Like
point, there's no difference between like what 500 and 1,000, like because
no, like we can only like a human palate can only taste upwards of around 140
so yeah,
IBUs.
so
Once
anything
it's
above
beyond
that,
that, it
yeah,
doesn't
it
make a
just all
difference.
tastes the same.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
Mikkeller
that's
or
exactly.
Microphone,
It
one
was
of the
Mikkeller.
two.
Yeah, they're the ones that did
It's
the 1,000 IBU beer, which is
okay. Yeah, I can't remember which one. It's Mikkeller or Microphone, one of the two. I can't remember, but they have 1,000 IBU
yeah,
beer.
but
Yeah,
it doesn't.
but
Doesn't
yeah, I remember like having Green Flash Palette Wrecker, which was over 100 IBUs,
Yeah,
and like,
and that was
yeah,
the other
like
thing is the names
that's
that came up with those beers when that was the big thing is they were trying to say that it was almost like we double dog dare you to drink this beer.
yeah, like it was a flex.
It was
It was
it
a
wasn't
flex.
like
Like you drink this,
yeah, it
you
was
won't
like
taste
this
anything
is
else.
not a good beer, but if you drink it, you're gonna be cool. 'Cause it's
Yeah,
because you're gonna be like, oh, I drink this. It's kind of like being on hot ones. Like, there's no reason that you should ever eat something that damn hot. It's not.
yeah. There's no reason you should put this 3 million Scoville units in
Yeah,
your
there's
mouth, but we're gonna tell you
but
to
it's the
do it.
same thing with like there's no reason that you need to drink 1,000 IBU beer. But
Yeah,
you're gonna be super cool if you do.
yeah. So this was kind of my next thing too that I was kind of leading into was kind of the lack of innovation. Really, like I feel like a lot of the craft beer industry is kind of stagnant right now. There's not much new coming out. It's kind of just like stuck, right? We've kind of done everything that there can be done,
No,
right?
I don't think
Uh,
so. I think I mean, that's just how innovation works, man. Sometimes it takes a while, and all of a sudden something
yeah,
comes out, and you'll be like, but when it does, it'll
and
blow up.
I feel like we're at that kind of cutoff point right now. We're just stagnant right now until we hit another
Yeah,
peak, and that's where we're at right now. Is we've hit that stagnancy where there hasn't been
and they just
innovation
recycle styles,
recently.
and that's kind of what I was talking about.
Yeah.
They're just it's
Yep.
these trends, and they're just recycling styles that have already happened, and they're not. And every once in a while, they'll recycle a style like what you said, and they will innovate off of that because someone is like,
Yep.
okay, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to be crazy about it, and I'm going to do it to the most. And then they come out with,
Yep.
oh, I'm going to put lactose in my IPA, and now it's a milkshake.
Yeah.
So
Yep. And that's what we see with trending in the beer industry too. Last week we talked about the what was the awards that happened last week? The World
yeah,
Beer Cup. And we've seen a resurgence in the West Coast IPAs. So West Coast IPAs are returning to one of the bigger style of beers that are out there. So it's a constant cycle. It's constant fluctuation, but from what I'm seeing, it seems like it's a constant recycling of those styles, and it hasn't been much innovation in the last 5 years or so. It's just waiting for somebody to come along and be like, oh, how can we flip this and do something different with what's already out here? We've had the New Zealand hops, which have kind of come, and they're in their course right now, but there hasn't been much innovation in that sense. We've had the hazies, we've had the milkshakes, all the juicies. Now we had the lager phase. What's next? What's new? We had the sour phase. Um, just waiting for what's next, so to speak.
yeah, and I feel like something's going to come. We'll see something,
Yeah,
and I hope at some point, and I feel like the same thing, and that's kind of what I was talking about as well. Is just I feel like a lot of things are just recycled. It's not You're not coming up with
yeah,
anything new. You're just pushing a style that was popular 10 years ago, and hoping that it'll catch on. And and
yeah,
and no offense, but the hipsters in your generation seem to like to catch on to like the stuff that's fancy and you have to that it's in. I'm talking more about the hipsters, not you, the people who wear the skinny jeans.
Oh, okay.
But they are your generation.
No,
No, the hipsters are out of your generation, dude.
no, they're millennials. I'm a zennial. It's different.
Okay. All right. That's fine. I'll let you opt out of the millennials, but but yeah, no, it's the hipsters that help the lager style come back in, and they also help the sour style come in.
Yeah. Thanks, Tyson. You big jerk. um, but no, yeah, I mean, there's some. I feel like there's we talk about sours, right? And like Bob and I don't like sours, but there are breweries out there who have stuck to that and have done very, very well
You know
with it.
what?
There's
Every
one
once in a while,
nearby.
I get a sour that's not so sour. It's got a little bit of sourness to it, but it's a little bit more fruit forward, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. But it
Yeah, yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
happen that often to me. And for me, when I hit that like super sour, that's like, beer's not supposed to be this way. Someone fucked something up. It got
Yeah.
oxidized or there was bacteria in it or something. And quite frankly,
Well, there was on
yeah,
purpose.
some of the sour, some of them specifically are getting bacteria in there on purpose. Yes.
Yeah, they are Brettanomyces.
Yes. So anyhow, we're almost out. I have one more. I want to one more thing to touch on. Do you have one?
All right, hit it quick.
All right.
No, go for it.
All right. So here's the big thing for me. And I got to break this down a little bit. So it cost a brewer about $5 to make a 6-pack. About $4 to $5 to make a 6-pack. They typically, if they're going to distribute that, a distributor's typically going to buy that from them for about $5.75 to about maybe $6.15 a 6-pack.
Chad, you can chime in on this. Working for a distributor, if you have any information on this topic.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, he probably knows better than I do. But just from the research I did, somewhere, I mean, so the thing about it is they're probably making about $1 to about $1.75, maybe $2 a 6-pack, depending on what it is, what the expense is. Okay, but on the other side, when they sell you a pint in the brewery, it costs them probably about $2.50, and you're paying about $7. And I get constant emails all the time from the Ohio Brewer Association about how bad a deal they have from distributors and how I need to call my congressperson or my state representative or do this or do that. And the distributors have such a shackle on us. What is that?
That's the I don't know emoji.
Is that what that is? But you're part of Ohio Brewers Association, right?
No, that's Tyson, not Chad.
No. I'm saying, Zach, you're on the you have their
Oh yeah. I get
you see it also.
newsletter.
They're constantly complaining about call your congressperson or your state representative, and because get rid of all. But why are they charging me so much at the brewery? And they charge me the same thing for a 6-pack at the brewery. They charge. So if I buy a 6-pack for microbrewery, it ranges what, maybe $10 to $15 for the most part, unless it's something crazy.
Depends on the beer.
Yeah, but if you go get it at the brewery, it's the exact same price. But
yeah,
if they really wanted to get like a better deal, if they wanted the distributors not to have as much power over them, they would lure me into the brewery to buy either the 6-pack to go or to go there, and I'm going to stay there, and I'm going to buy a pint, and I might buy a t-shirt, and I might buy a sticker, and I might just hang out and get some food, and I might do whatever. But they're kind of screwing the people that are helping them survive.
You know what, Bob? You know what I think? I think that these are good questions that we should save and we can get Paul on here.
It would, exactly. I mean, and again, I don't want to offend anyone, but it's just kind of one of the things. It is just sort of an annoyance to me that you hear all these complaints about the distributors and the bad deal that they have, but then they're going to more than double, like more like triple. They make triple the money of what it costs them to make, and then seriously, like when you go to the tap room, really, if you think about it, they're already have that electricity and the water and all that all the utilities and the building and all that stuff, because it's typically the same place where they're brewing the beer, right? So that's already going to be there. So they're not really paying that much more for that anyhow, because the building and the brewery and the electricity, utilities, now they're paying for the bartender, right? You got to pay for that, but then I'm paying a good portion of that person's wage by tipping them, right? And then and I'm tipping them for doing this. I'm tipping them for not doing much at all, dude. It's not like you freaking like took my food to me and like, you know what? They don't do that much, and I'm tipping them about $1, at least $1 every single time they give me a beer. So I'm paying a good portion of their pay by tipping them. So that on top of the fact that they're tripling what they're doing, their markup is like triple of what their cost is. It's just sort of like, if you and I don't think that you need to lower it a lot. I think if you maybe lowered it $1 and just give me an incentive that, like, if I go into your brewery, I can get beer less than what it costs me to go to Kroger or Big Bear, or what do you have there?
Whatever grocery store you have near you.
Whatever grocery store you go to.
Or convenience store, or whatever it may be.
Even if I save $1, $1.50, get me to go to the brewery. And when I go to the brewery, I'm going to hang out. I'll probably drink more beer, and I'll probably buy a t-shirt, and I'll probably, put money in the jukebox or the video games or pinball machine or whatever the hell you have there. I'll probably get some food. Get me in, and because again, there's, or at least maybe do happy hours or do on Wednesdays that, it's $2 off. And some of them are doing things like this, but here's the thing: you got to join their freaking beer club or president's club or something. So I got to pay $100 to get a freaking discount to go to your so it's there's a bit of a money grab on the people that are keeping them in business.
I know what you're saying.
So
yeah, that's something I think when we can get Paul on. So Paul owns JFB over in Worcester, and I've been talking to him to see when we can get him on. He's had some stuff going on, and we haven't had the chance to get him on yet. But we are planning to get him on sometime here soon, hopefully.
Yeah,
and do a full tour of the brewery, all of that as well. So
Paul, though, does he do much in the realm of distribution, or is most of it straight out of the brewery?
They do actually do a decent bit of distribution, but it's all self-distributed. It's not through a distributor that I'm aware of.
So they're a little different than on how they're going about doing their business. But
that's the same with like, take Hoof Hearted, for example. They're all self-distributed as well.
But I thought in Ohio you couldn't self-distribute.
Not anymore. They changed that law when they removed the alcohol limit.
Okay.
So I believe that law changed. Chad, you can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but as far as I know, Hoof Hearted is fully self-distributed. And I believe Paul is fully self-distributed because he only does like local stuff, and there's a few places that are not local that do it. It's a shoulder shrug. That's what it is. All right, well, we're at time for the night, guys, so we are gonna get off here. But couple things real quick here. So a couple bookkeeping items. So first of all, if you have not yet joined our Discord channel, we do have a Discord channel. We've mentioned this before. I don't know if you know, but I'm gonna throw a link in the comments here real quick to our Discord channel. So I don't know if you guys, let me know if you guys can see that. I just added the link to our Discord channel. So if you just sign up for Discord, you can join our Discord channel via that link. What we would like to do is add some surveys and stuff to our Discord. You'll be able to vote on those surveys right through our Discord channel. We have access to that. We can see all of that. We'll put up everything in the Discord channel right there. So if you follow that link, go on our Discord, check that out. We don't have much on there right now just because we don't have many people on there. Number two, I don't know why I just got like 37 notifications on my computer. Other thing is we talked a couple weeks ago about making our own song for the podcast. So today I had some free time. I went and I cleaned up all my guitars. So on a future episode, we are going to have some input from our viewers, and we are going to make up a Beers with Bros theme song on the fly. So we'll let you guys choose the guitar I will use. So I have 3 choices for that. And then we're going to work together and figure out the lyrics for our song. So we'll need viewer input on that one, on how we go about with our songs there. So check out our Discord, follow the link, you can sign up for Discord. It's free, it doesn't cost anything for that, so don't worry about anything there. Also, if you haven't checked out our Twitch channel, we do stream live on Twitch as well as YouTube. So you can check that out if you want to. If you need a link for it, let me know. Most of you guys all have my text information, so you can text me and I can get you a link for that. So other than that, Bob, you got anything else you want to add?
No, thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening to me bitch for about an hour. It's very cathartic. Cathartic? I said that wrong.
Cathartic.
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 Very cathartic.
Catharsis is a very good song. If you've never heard the song Catharsis by Machine Head, you should listen to that song.
All right, I'll have to remember that. But anyhow, yeah, I don't have to go to a shrink for a little bit because you guys listened to me bitch for an hour.
All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. We appreciate it. Check out the link for the Discord. Thanks for joining. Hope you had fun. Thanks for the comments. We appreciate it.